So, should you go to film school in 2025? We're about to find out. Hi, I'm Wes, and I am a writer, director, cinematographer based in Los Angeles, and I went to film school from the years of 2013 to 2016. So it's been a little bit since I've been out, almost 10 years. That's crazy to me, thinking about that. But anyway, I know you're here for the answer. So should you go to film school in 2025? The answer is a little bit more complicated than I'd like for it to be, but I hope I can answer it for you. So first things first, why you should go to film school. I was a person that really liked the structure and the discipline of having sort of deadlines for me, classes that would make me essentially like structure my life in a way where I could just, I could be like, okay, from this class, I'm going to learn this, and then I'm going to jump to this. And then there's a lot of great things about film school because you get exposed to so many different fields that maybe you wouldn't have gotten exposed to, or maybe you just are like me and don't want to look them up online and follow these tutorials over and over. Like I had classes in sound, classes in design. They had all this equipment that was amazing. So I really, really enjoyed like the structure of film school. Given I went to USC Film School, and it's plenty of resources they have there. So yes, let's just say structure and discipline, really, really great. Secondly, another reason why you should go to film school is the networking. Everyone talks about networking and industry connections, right? For me, going to USC Film School, it's, regarded as the #1 film school in the world, which, I'm not going to jump the ship and say that it is, because ultimately it's the experience that you make out of it. So my experience at USC was I got a really a big plethora, a network of different individuals that now, saying after 10 years, I'm re-meeting them out in the wild, and it's really, really cool to see that. It's like you guys all started in the trenches, and then all of a sudden you start meeting them, and then it actually creates this little opening or this door that allows you to kind of step in, per se. For example, I was pitching for the Disney Launchpad, right? This is the Disney short film competition, and who do I see there? I see my friend, and literally we went to school together, and given I didn't get the Disney Launchpad, but I think it was great to just reconnect with someone that you went to film school with, and I think it can only help you move forward. So thirdly, let's talk about hands-on equipment, like the kind of equipment you get at a film school. So at film school, you usually get access to Arri cameras, Sony cameras, Red cameras, all these cameras that are really expensive. So let's say $100,000 and up. So that is a really great benefit of film schools, as well as a bunch of industry equipment like sound equipment, just overall equipment for your productions, and that's what's really great. And if you're in a city that allows for rentals and production insurance, your school usually has production insurance, and it allows a lot of discounts for rentals, and so you have a ton of access to really good equipment at a very low cost, which is, I don't know about you, but I don't have a lot of money in the world. So when it came to doing my projects, it was really helpful to have all this kind of equipment at my whim. So number 4, you really get to learn the fundamentals in film school. And I think that's something that's really important. And I talk about this in this channel, is about foundation, right? Having the foundation to learn everything, learning cinematography, editing, sound design, producing, writing. There's just so much to filmmaking. And when you get access to all these teachers who really are specific to these disciplines, you start really crafting yourself as a really well-rounded filmmaker. And that's what USC brought to me a lot. Was it made me a way more well-rounded filmmaker, and I'm really happy that I did go to that school specifically. So yes, learning the fundamentals is very important. It's something that I really enjoyed while I was there, and it's something that it gets you hands-on experience on stages, on set. It gets you touching the equipment. It gets you doing all these things. So that's what I really, really like about film school. Number 5, there's opportunities for industry programs. So a benefit of film school is being invited to these other programs or these other industry programs that are really, really helpful for you. If you live in one of the big cities, I'm sorry for the people who don't. If you live in one of these big cities, you get access to a lot of invites, so like the DGA will invite you to different things, or the WGA, or all these different programs in film will invite you to come see a screening or such. And there were some that, you'd be invited to go see Christopher Nolan speak, or Jonathan Nolan, or all these industry people. So I really love being entrenched in that field where it's like, oh, you are literally talking to the people that you need to talk to, or listening to the people who need to be listening to, these auteurs and all this stuff. So that is another reason why film school is really great, because of that access, especially if you go to one of the bigger film schools. Okay, number 6, we'll talk about the built-in community and collaboration you get with film school. So something that I really appreciated was everyone wants to make a film, so that means that everyone needs help. So what was great about that was that I could call on so many people to work with me, and usually work for free, because essentially you'd be just bartering your skills. So in film school, I felt like I would be most helpful as a cinematographer, so I focus a lot on cinematography. And that way I could shoot many projects, and I could be on set as much as possible, because that's the only place you really learn is on set. And that's something I'll go into in the don'ts of film school, is why film school lacks on certain ways, is that you have to really make it what you want it to be, rather than the film school dictating your curriculum or what you need. So built-in community, built-in collaboration, you are entrenched with all these other people, and it's really great to be with someone who understands what you're going through. 7th reason why I would go to film school is for the mentorships. I received an amazing amount of support from a mentor of mine, Chris Coleman, who is a part of the ASC, which is the American Society of Cinematographers. And they helped me on all the projects. You'd go to coffee with them, you'd ask them questions about how you would like this, how would you do this, and this and this. So I am so grateful for that experience, because without someone who is really refined and willing to help you, it's very hard to move far in this industry. You cannot do it alone. You have to have a support system that will help you. And by being in film school, it really does help you to have a mentor. So that is a reason why I would definitely go to film school for. Okay, with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the why I wouldn't go to film school in 2025. Well, I went to USC, and I have to say that I spent so much money, an incredible amount of money that is still sitting in the cloud, waiting its impending doom on me. The loans that I had to take out were immense, and I don't know if I would recommend anyone to take the same amount that I took. The only reason I did was I believe that I could make that back, and that's just basic economics, is return on investment. You're investing in yourself. If you think you can make that back, if you think you're going to hit it big, if you think you're going to do this, I would do it. I think it's something that it's you have to really refine yourself, because I found a lot of people after film school stop making films. So you really have to love it, and you really have to believe in yourself. So that's a reason why maybe I wouldn't go to film school, is because of the cost. The cost is so high these days, and it's better you save your money sometimes. Now, I talked about discipline at film school. If you have your own discipline at home, you can pretty much learn almost everything online. You can learn a lot on YouTube. You can learn a lot through masterclass. You can learn a lot from speaking panels. Sundance has their own little film school online. A lot of these film festivals have their own their own teaching programs online, and you can find a lot of these just right on their website. You can pay a nominal fee of maybe $100 or $200 a class maybe, but that's still cheaper than $50,000 a semester. So just think about that before you decide to dive into film school in 2025. So thirdly, another reason why you shouldn't go to film school in 2025 is because film school doesn't really prepare you in the business side for how to make it. So when I got out of film school, I was like, how do I exist? How do I do this? How am I a freelancer? How do I get paid? How do I start an LLC? How do I do everything? So there was a lot of growing pains when I got out of USC to really prepare myself to actually, to work. How to invoice someone. I think there's a lot of things that you really need to, maybe you'll learn as you do, but you really need to pick up before jumping into the real world, as per se. Now, I talked about really expensive equipment. That is great if you want to make a really great film for a film festival, but ultimately now everything is online. Everything is unfortunately vertical on your social media platform. So to be seen, I don't know if you need all this really fancy equipment. Right now, I'm just shooting on a Sony FX30 in my room with a few adjustments with a lens that's not super expensive. It really doesn't take a lot to make a really great image with equipment that's, $2,000. So equipment is accessible. You can buy a laptop, you can buy an editing software, you can do editing software for free. If you don't know, DaVinci Resolve is completely free and you can edit on it, you can color, you can do so many things on it. So there are so many ways to get around paying a lot. Oh, and another thing, your iPhone or your Android or your Google Pixel, whatever you use, those cameras are so good. It was a lot better than the things that I was using when I was in film school. So utilize what you have. I think it's really important. It's really easy to get lost in the sauce of having good equipment. It necessarily doesn't really matter. It's really about the content and the story that you tell. So really focus on that. Let's talk about the degree. The wonderful master's degree that I go to every single studio, and I just show my degree and I'm like, yes, I got a master's degree from the University of Southern California, the #1 film school in the world. That doesn't happen. No one ever asks you for your degree. No one ever even mentions film school. There isn't a lot of that. I think a big reason why I went to film school when I did was because, to me, at that point in my life, I really wanted to have a master's degree. I really wanted to, here we go. At the time, I wanted to have a master's degree. And I really wanted it because, I don't know, it just felt like something that was right. It felt something that I was giving back to my family, to my parents, for all the struggles that they went through to immigrate to this country. So I felt like having a master's degree was like a badge of honor, and it was. It was really something that I felt very proud of to have, and I felt very proud that I pursued something that was scary. And I moved across from Florida to California, so I thought that was really helpful. But like I said, no one's ever gonna ask you for that degree, so be cautious about it. Is it worth $200,000 in debt? I don't know. So lastly, let's talk about time commitment. So I spent 3 years in film school following a certain discipline, and I learned all these things in a certain way. If you decide you're like, oh, I want to move to one of these big cities, New York, Atlanta, or LA, you can work on set. You can get on set pretty easily, I would say. I think you have to meet the right people and find the right rhythm, and then you can get on set pretty easily through some different platforms like Mandy and Production Hub, Craigslist, Facebook. There's a lot of different groups that you can get into, and when people just need a little bit of help, so you can break your way in. It may be a slower process, but I guarantee you will learn so much while you're on set, more than anything. So I do definitely recommend going that route, because necessarily, film school could slow you down depending on the vibe you are. If you are a hustler and you just get on set, then maybe, doing it on your own is fine. If you're more of like, oh, well, like I want to play it out, I want to be a little more creative in my own way, then you could try going to film school and learning through that way. So, what's the verdict? Should you go to film school in 2025? And my answer is going to be maybe. But I'm probably leaning more toward no. The reason being is that the industry has come so far since I went to school. The cameras are way better. The access to equipment is way easier. You can have more access to more people and more information online. And if you are self-motivated, you can really, really learn so much and and you can just apply to fellowships and programs that will teach you these things along the way. And I don't necessarily think that you need to spend so much money on film school. And that's something that, being out of it now, it's hard to have, hindsight is 2020. I do really, really believe that I am where I am because of some of my film school connections and my network connections and the way that I've been able to navigate through. So I can't say that it wasn't great, but I do believe that right now there's just so much out there, and there's so many ways to get known and to get involved. One thing I do highly recommend is moving to a big city, one of those 3 big cities, because that will get you the most access, and that's what you really need. Nobody really is gonna care about, how many Instagram followers you have or how pretty your stuff looks on Instagram, because to be honest, like, that's not gonna get you on set most of the time. Maybe it'll get you some people talking about you, but it's all about who you know and if they like working with you. So I think the important thing is get yourself out there, get yourself involved with the community, be a really healthy part of the community, and I think you'll find your way. Okay, so if this video resonated with you, please hit a like and subscribe to my channel. Hit a comment below. Do you think you're going to go to film school this year? Do you think this is something that you've always wanted to do? Well, don't let me stop you, Chase your dreams and continue to create, and to create with purpose and with flow, like I always say. And much love. I'll see you on the next video.